What's up, podcaster? It's Ben here from Podcast Pros with a podcast hosting comparison. And today we're comparing Transistor to Captivate. So if you've been debating between these two hosts, this video will help you make the right decision for you and your show. And once you've made your decision, there are links to both Transistor and Captivate in the description box and pinned comment. And those links will get you a free trial of either service. We're going to compare these hosts based on three categories. The first being features, second being price, and third being ease of use so that you can make the best decision possible. So let's get right into it. So let's start off with features. When it comes to Transistor, the biggest feature that stands out in my mind is the fact that you can have unlimited podcasts on one Transistor plan, meaning that you can have more than one show, but you don't have to pay for more than one plan. So if you're planning on experimenting with a few different shows, Transistor automatically is a great possible option. With that being said though, Transistor does charge based on monthly downloads, and that would be across all shows that are attached to the plan. And their cheapest plan will give you 15,000 monthly downloads. And any show attached to that account will count toward that monthly download number. So keep that in mind. The more shows that you have, the more likely you are that you're gonna have to move up to more expensive tiers. They offer an embeddable podcast player, which makes it very easy to embed podcast episodes onto your website. All plans come with a built-in podcast website, and each plan also comes with advanced analytics, even at its cheapest tier. Their starter plan also allows for 2 show managers, meaning that you and somebody else can both simultaneously manage the show or shows while only paying for one Transistor account. Transistor also gives you the option and capability for private podcasting on their more expensive plans. And this is fantastic for internal podcasts. A lot of businesses are moving this way to communicate with all their employees at once. And there's other various use cases for private podcasting. So Transistor gives you that option if you upgrade to the more expensive plans. And that's massive for some people. They really want that capability to have that private show. All Transistor accounts come with unlimited storage and bandwidth, meaning that you can upload as much as you want per month, and you will only get charged based on the monthly downloads that your shows are experiencing on a monthly basis. Transistor also integrates with MailChimp, ConvertKit, and Drip, which are some of the best email service providers. So this makes it a super easy way to connect with your audience, capture emails, and then nurture that relationship in a different way. So those are all of Transistor's core features, and they may not have as many features as some of the other podcast hosting options out there, but a few of the features that they do have really allows them to stand out. And that would be the unlimited podcasts on one plan, as well as the opportunity to have a private podcast. Those are 2 features that a lot of people are really looking for and allows Transistor to stand out. And that's the primary reason as to why we scored them pretty highly in the features category, giving them an 8 out of 10. Moving on to pricing. So Transistor does have a few different plans based on your unique needs. And like we said earlier, if you use the link in the description box or the pinned comment, you can get yourself a free 14-day trial to try out their service. And obviously, we're huge fans of the opportunity to try out the service before you have to commit to paying for it. But with that being said, their cheapest pricing option is substantially higher than most of the other podcast hosts out there. But what you have to keep in mind is that does give you the opportunity to have more than one show with one account. So that has to come into play when you're thinking about paying for this. And that's why it may be expensive for you if you're only gonna have one show, but if you're gonna have multiple, it may actually be a really good deal. Plus, the private podcasting feature is limited to their more expensive plans. So if you want that, you're gonna have to pay a premium. So with all that being said, we graded Transistor's pricing a 7 out of 10. Still a solid score, but we viewed it through the lens of someone hosting one show. If you're just doing that, it is slightly on the higher or more expensive side, especially if you had one show and you wanted it to be private. But all in all, their plans are still pretty affordable for what you're getting, so they get a 7 out of 10 for price. So now moving on to ease of use. As we mentioned in the features category, there's not a ton there. They're not throwing a ton of features at you. And with that comes some benefits because the process of using Transistor is very simple and very streamlined. Getting your show up and running, even multiple shows, is very easy to do and very user-friendly. And this is one of their core focuses as a business. They want to make it as easy as possible for you to run one show or multiple. And for that reason, Transistor scored an 8 out of 10 when it comes to ease of use. So if you're keeping track, Transistor scores a 23 out of a possible 30. So it is a fantastic and easy to use podcast hosting option that may be perfect for you if a few of their unique features meet your needs. So let's start off with features. As I mentioned before, Captivate is a growth-oriented podcast hosting solution. So what that means is they want to give you every tool possible to help you grow your show. And right on the front page of their website, they have in big, bold letters, the world's only growth-oriented podcast host. So they want to make sure that you know that's what they're about. And the features that they give you to help grow your show are as follows. Firstly, they allow you to have unlimited shows on one plan, and that's regardless of which tier you decide to go with. With that being said, though, they do charge based on monthly downloads, like a few other hosts out there. And their cheapest plan gives you 12,000 monthly downloads per month. And since you're allowed to have numerous shows on one plan, every show that is included and hosted on that plan will also count towards these monthly download numbers. So keep that in mind. All of their plans come with advanced analytics from the get-go, and they do come with an embeddable podcast player for your website as well. And a feature that's quite unique to Captivate is all of their plans allow you to have unlimited team members. So there's no limit to how many people can help you run and operate your shows. They also give you a ton of tools to help you market your show, and a few of those tools include a web player with calls to action built in, single subscription marketing link, email marketing integration, as well as one-click sponsor pitch creation. All of their plans also include transcription support, and another feature that is awesome about Captivate is all of their plans, even the cheapest one, gives you the option to host a private podcast. This is something that more and more people are looking to do every single day for different reasons, and on most other podcast hosting providers, you have to pay for their more expensive tiers to have the option at all. And all of Captivate's plan give you that option. It just varies based on how many people can have access to that private podcast, which depends on how much you pay. All their plans also include a podcast host. So as you can see, Captivate gives you a ton of features, as well as some features that many hosts don't have at all. And for that reason, Captivate scored extremely well in this category with a 9 out of 10 when it comes to features. So moving on to price, as we mentioned before, if you use the link in the description box or the pinned comment, you'll get yourself a free 7-day trial to experiment with the service and see if you like it. But their plans do start slightly on the higher side compared to all the other hosting options out there. But again, they do offer some options that other hosts simply do not. And the fact that you can have unlimited shows on one plan as well as unlimited team managers is something that you should keep in mind. Their cheapest plan starts at $19 per month when you pay monthly, but you can get that down to $17 per month when you do pay yearly. But we think all the features that Captivate gives you warrants that higher entry-level price because you are getting a ton for what you pay for. Especially if you're running multiple shows, Captivate is an awesome option to consider, but you do have to keep in mind that monthly download number. As that goes up, you're gonna have to pay more. So for all those reasons, Captivate scored an 8 out of 10 when it comes to price because you do get a solid amount for what you're paying for. So now moving on to ease of use, Captivate also scored very well in this category. It is very simple, easy to use, and easy to get your show or shows up and running and live across all the different podcast hosting directories. With that being said though, because there are a ton of additional marketing features, to really maximize the use of all of them, it is gonna take a little more time to figure out how to best use them. So because of that, they get an 8 out of 10. They do give you a ton to use. It's fairly easy to use them, but it is gonna take some time and there's gonna be a bit of a learning curve to really maximize all the tools that Captivate gives you. Captivate also provides dedicated support for all of their plans. So they give you all the tools that you need to figure out how to best use all the tools that they give you, but it is gonna take a little bit of time. And because of all that, they get an 8 out of 10 for ease of use. So with that score, Captivate achieved a 25 out of a possible 30 points, speaking to the fact that Captivate is an awesome podcast hosting solution, especially if you're very growth focused, or if you're looking for a few of the features that they have that a lot of other hosts don't offer, or they only offer at their more expensive tiers. So as I mentioned before, there are links for free trials for both Transistor and Captivate in the description box and pinned comments. So go ahead and use those links to get yourself a free trial of whichever one is your favorite. Full disclosure, those links are affiliate links. So if you do end up signing up for a paid plan, the channel will earn a small commission at no extra expense to you. And we appreciate the support in advance. So after watching this comparison, I want to hear from you. Which host are you going to go with, Transistor or Captivate? Let us know in the comments section down below. And don't forget to click subscribe for more podcasted related videos. And I'll see you in the next one. Happy podcasting.